So we can select a channel we can pick a number. I think this has 99 programs. I don't remember, but
It has 99 programs.
yeah. So I took 99, but we'll just take 95 or something. So I put 95 in channel 95. I'm going to say enter. Okay, there's nothing in 95. Okay, so we're in 95. I'm going to program 95. Now what do we want to do? Let's say we're knocking down some parent sheets from whatever they are, 2335 down to 8.5 by 11 or something like that. Okay, so I would probably start with 17 point 0.5. I'll clear that. Just 17.5. Okay, let's do that for our first cut. Okay, this is that thing. I'm gonna say 17.5. Enter. Okay, that number went in. First step is 17.5. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I've cut that 2335 down in sort of in half, basically, more or less, right? So then I go ahead and then I want to back trim the next lift, which is going to be 17.5 again. Okay, so I'm going to say enter again because I didn't change the number. So step 2 is 17.5. Then I'm going to rotate it, right? And I'm going to cut it the other way. So I'm going to go 11.5, right? Because now I'm cutting the 23 in half, right? Okay, so I'm going to say enter, okay? Then I'm going to back trim the next lift, so that's going to be 11.5 again. And we'll do this, we'll grab a parent sheet and do this after we get this. Okay, so that's enter again, okay. So then I'm going to cut it down. Now I'm actually going to cut it down to size, okay? So I'm going to start getting down to size. Now I'm going to go 17, okay, enter, okay? These steps numbers are going up, okay? We're going to do 17 again, although I could have piled them on top of each other. This is just for example. So 17 again. Then I'm going to go down to 11. Okay, I'm going to enter and enter again because I'm going to do that twice. So now I've cut this down to 11 by 17 from 2335. Okay, so now let's say I want to run this program, or we could go down to 8.5, 11 if we want to keep going. But let's just run this. Okay, I want to run this program now. Okay, so what do? I've written this program. There's 8 steps. Okay, I'm going to say scan. It goes to auto. I move from manual to auto, and then I can say enter. And it should do its thing. Now it's we're gonna say enter, double enter. Okay, so channel, we're gonna go to channel 9. What do we do? 98. Enter, right? Okay, that's on channel 1. So pay no attention to me. Channel 9. What do we do? 98, 95. That's what we're doing. 95, right? You guys gotta pay attention to me. There we go. 17.5. All right, let's start it up and enter. Okay, and now send. It's gonna go to 17.5. Okay, so good. So let's grab, like a 2335 parent sheet somewhere. Maybe. Robert, just grab one. Let's do a couple.
So first you start off with manual.
Yes, you have to do. Yeah, it'll go to, as soon as you hit channel, it'll come on back. Okay. So what we're gonna do here, right? I don't know. Is this 2640? I don't know what this is. It's probably 26.
It probably is 2640.
2640. It's okay. We can use it for an example. It's no big deal. Okay, so we're gonna cut to the left, right? We talked about that. So now it should be. I got no wiggle against the side guide and the back guide. It's 90. The other side, no guarantees. So we're gonna. The blade's coming this way, so we want to put it against this
So
side.
isn't that a good thing to cut in the middle then?
It's okay. On a big sheet like this, it's not going to matter. But on a lift, it might pull some of them out. Depending on the clamping. It's okay to move around, cut to both sides. But the critical work, really fine work, that's you may want to do to the left. It's good to not wear the blade out.
Should we use the magnets or no?
You don't need that when you got some. Oh, it doesn't matter. Yeah, you can take them off.
Yeah. Okay.
These are for.
I've only used them like for business cards and stuff
NCR
like that.
stuff like that, or something where you don't want to damage the top of the lift.
Yeah. When it's a printed job already.
Right, exactly. So I don't know. That all. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead. We're gonna make a cut, right? Okay. So we were in manual. We didn't go to automatic, did we? So that's a big no-no. First of all, not that the cut was bad or that it didn't move, but we didn't go to automatic. Okay, so now I'm gonna go to automatic. All right, we'll do this one again. All right, in there. Okay. You know what teaching that behind the curtain. Okay, so now it should go to the next step. It's bringing the paper out to me, right? So now I grab the paper from here, right? Okay. So it's going to go to 17.5. Again, what I can do is put this on top although we don't need to. I wrote this program in a way that's maybe less than efficient, but I wanted you to see how it works, okay? So, there we go. All right, so now I put this in again. I can use my pusher block if necessary. I'm gonna make my next cut, right? Oh, wait, we're in auto. Did it send it? Did it go? Okay, let's find out. Next cut. Kick. Okay, so I didn't do the double lift, so I'll push that back in and do it again. Okay, now it's on step 2. This is step 2. Okay. Now it should go to step 3. It's bringing the paper out to me, so my hand's never under the clamp of the blade, right? So then I can take this lift and turn it, right? Okay, 11.5. And some people turn counterclockwise, some people turn clockwise. So whatever you do, you want to get in the habit of doing that. Rock the paper out to me, all right? So I'm gonna go there, jog it, again. Okay, so the programs I wrote, it's just running through them now, okay? That's what's happening, right? So I got this paper, right? Now, it wants us to go through here. So what am I doing? 17, so I can turn this, put it in, cut it. Out to me. Okay. And if we had another lift that we'd cut down simultaneously, we could do that one too. So this should be 11 by 17. So now that's the way you program it with numbers, okay? See if we can program it just by making cuts, okay? Because some people like to do it that way. Let's say you got something that's ruled out, you know, and you don't want to go through and measure, you know, measure it with a ruler or whatever, right?
Here you go. This is setup.
Okay, so you got to rule something out for me though.
They gotta be ruled out.
Well, it should be. I mean, you don't have
I've
to.
always known that too. You taught me that.
But you know,
You're right.
you should rule. You know,
Have I
go
told
ahead
you
and
that?
take a ruler
Always.
and
Always,
have one
always.
that's ruled out. Okay, but we can do it. We'll just do it with one. Obviously, we don't need to screw this up. But if I was cutting this out, okay, I could go ahead and make some cuts. I could go ahead and put this in here and say, you know, bring this forward. All right, and I could go ahead and using the cut light, right? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Use the slow button. Okay, I don't know how accurate the cut light is, but we're on the cut light there, right? Okay, so let's say we want to do this as a program. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go channel, and we'll say 96, right? And there's nothing in there, okay? So I'm just going to go ahead, and instead of entering the numbers, I'm just going to make the cuts, okay? So I'll see if it'll do this. It should do this. I didn't try it before I get started, but let's try it. So I'm going to go ahead and make a cut right there. It'll be my first cut, okay? So let's see if it'll do. Didn't take a number there, so we have to enter a number there wherever we are. Okay, so and it gave me an error because we can't do that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get a number there. Okay, so we're enter. Okay, I don't know if you can do this or not. You should be able to do this with a modern cutter. Well, let's find out. Okay, all right. So if I go to here, we're in manual mode. Come out of channel mode. Oh, and I should show you how to change a cut too. That's all right. So let's go.
You want another one?
No. Let's just go here. 17. I don't know. I'm assuming you can do this here. Let's send it to 17 and see what happens. Then I'll put it back. Okay. So now we go here, and I'm going to take it back. I like it. You know, the buttons are missing. Okay, so we made a cut here. Okay, so I made this cut already, right? Right. So basically it was more or less right there, okay? 17 and a half. Okay, wait a minute, did we put that in already? All right, so I can go ahead and go back to channel now. 6, okay. Looks like there's a number already in there. Channel 94. Okay, so now, let's see if I can put this number in here. There it is, okay, so now we got a real number in again too. Okay, let's see if it'll take that. Okay, so it took that. Now I'm going to go and make it the next cut. So I'm going to turn this around, right? And bring it forward, right? So it took the first step. You can hold down the slow button, I guess, and do it that way. That's probably the better way. Get the second number pretty close there, okay? So now that's the second step. Let's see if it'll take it. Okay, so that was the second step. Okay, so now I'm going to turn it. And we cut off our marks, but if I were to measure this, if it was ruled out, give you a hard time about that. But that's why the ruling is important. So let's just take, we'll just pretend we know what we're doing. Come forward. Okay, more or less, you know, you can go ahead and roll this out, and I'm just going to guess, but we're going to say backward over this. I'm just going to guess on where it is. All right, we'll just say it's in there someplace, okay? So I'm gonna say, now I can make the cut. I don't have to make the cut, it doesn't look like. I think I can just enter that number, okay? So let's say it's a, you know, maybe I probably need to go back a little bit. Slow and forward, okay. It's probably in there somewhere, okay? So I can say enter, or I can make a cut. I think I just hit enter. Okay, so I don't even have to cut one out. I can go ahead and run through using the cuts, you know, like this. Okay, so let's say we did that one at 11 and a half, and then we're gonna run this forward. And we turn it around. Once Eddie has it rolled out, we'll do this. But we know that it's gonna end up about 11, something like that. If we'd made that previous cut, that's where the next rule would be, and I'd say enter. So pushing it out. Okay. So if I had gone through that, if I made a cut, if I had made a cut, it would have gone to the next step. Because I didn't, it didn't. Right? So it's important to make a cut when you do it. It is on this programming. So make the cut, then it knows you did make a cut. Otherwise, it's going to think you just programmed a push out, which you can do. You know, if you need an extra clamp, if the paper's a coated 80-pound book with a lot of air, you know, in it, you need to stamp it down, something like that. You can go ahead and program just a clamp, you know, just an extra step to, you know, 2 push-outs in there, something like that. Whatever you do, it's going to think that's what you did if you say enter. So we'll wait for Eddie to roll one out. But basically, let's go to the next step. We know it's about 11, okay? So I'm going to go back and we're in channel 3. Let's see if so all I have to do is hit enter or make a cut. Here we go. Let's do it this way. So now we have one rolled out, right? We have a gutter down the middle. There's all kinds of ways to do this. Probably trim the gutter out of the middle. I mean, I'm not a cutter operator. I just play one on TV. So we'll probably cut the gutter out of the middle, whatever you want to do. But I don't know how you guys normally do it. But you can, let's go to a new program. So we're going to go channel. We're going to go 93, enter. Nothing
You
there.
can delete them as you...
Yeah, these are delete and insert. Okay, so those work in steps and on the programs, okay? So that's what they stand for. And this is reversed, even though we're missing the key, and this is 1, obviously. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this forward. Okay. I'm just using the cut light. I don't know how accurate it is. Okay. So now what I want to do is I'm going to say enter. That's step 1. Okay. So we'll cut it. That's our first cut. This is going to come back around. I'm going to take this gutter out next, right? So I could do that several ways. Yeah, I could do it like this. I can stack the 2 lifts on top of each other if this was set up right, and do it again, or however you want to do it. Okay. All right. So we're under there. My hands are on the blade. We'll see if that works. This would be step 2. Okay. So we'll make the cut again. Okay. What do you know? Okay. Enter. Okay, that was step 2. Now, if I wanted to program a push out, I could hit the push out button and it would bring it out to me, just like it did there. So we've taken that out. Now I'm to this cut, right? Because I took the gutter out, right? And I'd be using, if I had a lift, I'd be using, it's kind of hard to do. Well, I can still do it with this. Forward, come out. Okay, that's our second cut. Okay. Third cut, right, you're right, thank you. Okay, so I can make that cut.
Now, do you have to cut before you hit enter or after?
Let's find out. I have no idea. I work on all kinds of machines, I have no idea. So we'll go to the next one, okay? So I'm going to turn this, or I'm going to take this gutter out again, right? So let's do it. Like I say, I work on many cutters, so let's find out. Okay. Okay, so now we got our next, let's see, what did you want to do? Hit enter first or cut first?
Yeah, I was
Go
just
for it.
wondering,
Okay, so
you know,
let's find out.
do we
Yeah,
need to
yeah, you can just say
cut
enter.
first or enter
No,
first?
I don't think it matters. Okay, so we took that out, all right? All right, so that one's out of there. Now, I didn't tell it to push out. When I'm programming, I can just use the push out button. It should, when I run the program, push out automatically, okay? So now I'm gonna turn these around, right, like we did a minute ago, right? And do this again. Okay, so we'll try entering first and then cutting. Last time we cut, and then, okay, took the gun out, push out. It brings it to me. Okay, scrap those over there. Okay, so now we're gonna do this last. These are the same, and this is our final cut, right? So hold the slow button down or the fast button, slow button down first before you hit what you want to hit. Okay, so now we're gonna make the cut and then hit enter because we hit enter, or do we now? We want to hit enter and then make the cut. All right, and that's probably the final cut. And now, if you could program another step, if you weren't flipping these back on top of each other, right? If you had many lifts to go, you wouldn't be putting lifts on top of each other like we just did, right? So, but we basically understand. Let's say you want to run this program now, okay? And boy, who cut this out? No, it's just I did it with a cut.
See it.
Yeah, you can see why I don't do this for a living. Okay, so now we want to run this program that we wrote, all right? So we would go, I don't remember, it was 93, but I think we could just go to scan. It'll go to auto, right? And we could say send, and it will go ahead. Or what to take us back if it's, or it just took to that. So I can go to the next one. I can see if it'll go rotate. It should rotate. There we go. And it's pushing out between every cut. Even though we didn't push it out to us when we were programming, anytime if you need it to push out and it's not in programming, you can just hit the push out button and it'll bring it to you. So you don't have to have your hands in there. So now it'll just cycle through those 7 cuts that we programmed. So I mean, if you have multiple lifts, you just keep running through the program. When it gets to 7, you make that cut, it'll go back to the next one again. You just keep cycling. You guys want to do it yourselves? Try it?
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have to select a program, right? In order
program
to
number.
be able to enter
Yeah.
all these different cuts, right?
Yep.
Okay, is there any particular programs that we can use so we can
Well,
create
you
our
could
own?
start.
one.
You could start.
I can create my own?
If you go, you could go. I believe there's a way you could say channel scan, and but I don't.
Which ones are used?
You would want to have a list here too because
Yeah, write it
you
down.
don't have any program names in those. Some of the bigger cutters you can put a job name and a job number in and all this stuff, but you don't know. So you pretty much have to have a list. You're going to have to keep on the machine that program 82 is this guy's job, or but you're going to have to write that down.
Right, okay.
So I mean, you can go to channel 3. And say enter, and it'll go. Somebody already has something in there. You see, and what it is, you can go through the steps, and look at them. There's a way to do it with a plus and minus. I don't know. You can just go ahead and make a cut, figure it out. But there's also you can go ahead and clear the programs. It's not locked. There's a little icon, the little thing that comes up under here, like a little underline or a little thing like that, and that you can actually lock channels using this. Okay, so I mean you can lock it out. Like right now. You open or closed, I don't know. There we go, open. So right now, I can go ahead and change things, delete programs, do all this kind of thing. If it's in this mode, then you can't delete any programs. We can make new programs, sure, no problem, but you can't like wipe somebody else's work out, because it's locked. Okay, that's why that key is there. But you can just, what I do, I usually, I start at the 99 because I figure those are probably not that open. But you could just, say channel 22, there's something in there. Channel 33 is something in there. So obviously you guys are, channel 44 is blank. So
Is there anything you can do just to clear out every channel all at once?
there is. Yeah, you can go channel 0 enter and through as well. If you have the manual, that page is in there. You have the
Okay.
book. Yeah, break it.
I believe we do
We
have the
should
book.
break it out. If you don't, we'll get you a copy of it. But,
Yeah,
but there's a memory reset. One of the things that happens on these is that. Excuse me. Sure. One of the things that happens, I don't have to talk over that. Okay. One of the things that happens is sometimes there'll be a power outage, and you'll lose your memory. Not the memory of the programs necessarily, but you'll learn the program. You